Welcome to Wanted Down Under, the show that catapults a British family right across to the other side of the world to help them make the biggest decision of their life. Tracy Scott feels there's more to life than her hometown of Banchory near Aberdeen.
I just think there's a huge world out there and I want a piece of it, really.
Husband Graham, who's a carpenter, agrees and thinks New Zealand could hold the answer.
I feel as though there's going to be a lot more opportunities for my two little ones here and myself.
But Tracy knows that moving away from Scotland could have huge emotional consequences.
My dad, who is sadly no longer with us, used to always say that it's people that matter, not the place. Most of my friends I've known since I was 13, and there's just nothing that will ever replace that.
And how will 5-year-old Prue and 10-year-old Dugan cope so far away from their grandparents?
I don't want to come. Aww.
Let's see whether their week in New Zealand will help them decide whether to move where they're wanted down under. With the British weather and the economic forecast looking equally gloomy, many families are looking overseas for a brighter future. The skills shortage in New Zealand means that anyone under 55 whose profession is in demand could head down under to make a new life. Last year, 18,000 Brits did just that. But what goes into making such a huge decision? We're following another 20 British families as they put to the test a new life down under. But after just 1 week, they'll have to vote. Will they stay in the UK or will they move to New Zealand? The Scott family love their life. Tracy knows that their standard of living in Scotland is close to perfect.
It is a great place for the kids. They have such clean air, and just every day they're in walking in the woods, and, you know, just the outdoor life is great.
But she feels that modern life is encroaching a little too much.
The town's growing and it is losing its village atmosphere to it. There's such a dramatic change in the culture, I think, now in Britain. It's people's attitude, the family life, the economy. It's the emphasis is shifting away from what really is quite important, which is enjoying your life and, you know, making the most of your family.
Yeah.
They both believe that the pace of life in New Zealand is healthier and gentler.
Yeah, I mean, I like New Zealand's kind of outlook on life. They seem a bit more laid back. You know, I want my kids just to not be so materialistic and enjoy, to me, what's important, which is outdoor life and happiness and health. It's where we go from here. I don't want to find myself neither, do you, in 20 years' time going,
no,
I wish we had tried it. Because I just think there's a huge world out there and I want a piece of it, really.
In recent years, Graham's work's become all-encompassing. As well as running his own business, he's been extending and improving the family home. It's his skills which would get the Scots a visa to emigrate, but it would mean a big change for Graham.
If and when we do immigrate to New Zealand, I'm going to have to go and start work for obviously a company until possibly I can maybe find ways and means I've been able to support ourselves again, being self-employed, which means I'm going to have to start taking orders again.
One of the main things that appeals about moving is achieving a better work-life balance.
I believe that they really work hard Monday to Friday, but they also play hard at the weekends, which I'm really looking forward to. It's going to be very important because if I'm not happy, my family's not going to be happy.
Although a joiner by training and experience, Graham can turn his hand to most things building related, and he's hoping the trip to New Zealand will answer some questions.
It'll be really interesting looking at new ways and how to do things. Because I think possibly the New Zealand way might be slightly different from the Scottish way.
But there are some things about carpentry that stay the same the world over.
A nail's a nail, a bit of timmer's a bit of timmer.
But the possibility of leaving a close network of family and friends gives Tracy pause for thought.
I'm quite nervous of leaving all my friends and my social life and my get-out clause when things get, quite tough. Yeah, that's going to be quite hard. They are close to their grandparents, and you're very close to your parents, so
Yeah.
that is quite a difficult one.
And Graham knows it's not going to be an easy choice.
I think this is certainly going to be the biggest decision that we've ever had to make. I mean, I'm 100% into moving. I mean, I've just about sold my business to somebody I know, and I'm just ready for the move.
We gave the Scots the chance of a lifetime. A trial week in New Zealand to find out whether it's everything they dreamt it would be. We found 3 different lifestyles for our family to sample. One in the country, one in the city, and one on the coast. Each one with the offer of a job and a brand new way of life for them to enjoy on their budget. First, let's take a look at the country lifestyle. In the countryside around Christchurch, your family can enjoy a quiet lifestyle in the relaxed great outdoors, surrounded by nature and beautiful scenery. Medford boasts homes with plenty of outdoor space, but you have to pay for it. 4-bedroom properties here range from £200,000 to £290,000. There's a foreman's job with a salary of £29,000 a year at this small building company. Co-owner Nigel Hodges tells us more.
We work here in rural Canterbury. As you can see, we've got a great backdrop. We're a young business and we started 8 months ago building these big dairy sheds. We've got 15 people which work in 2 teams, and we treat our guys like part of the family. It's a great country family lifestyle here. Graham, we've got heaps of sheds and houses to build. It's a nice rural community. It'll be great to see you when you're down here.
So that was the kind of lifestyle they could enjoy in the country. So let's see what might be possible in the city on their budget. Overlooked by the spectacular Southern Alps, Christchurch is the South Island's largest settlement. Nicknamed the Garden City thanks to its expansive parks and gardens, Christchurch is also a place where art, music and culture are celebrated. Property prices around the city centre of Christchurch are lower, with a family house averaging around £140,000. This construction firm is looking for a carpenter to join a team of 10 and offering to pay around £10 an hour. Danny Whiting tells us more.
We construct buildings like this and refurbish buildings like this. Graham, we've got a great city lifestyle here in Christchurch with loads of restaurants, cafes and bars, great schooling for our children and loads of outdoor space. Graham, Christchurch is a really cool city and we have a great company. It certainly spins my wheels. So I hope you'll come and see us when you come down to New Zealand.
It looks like their lifestyle could shape up pretty well in the city. But what about a new life on the coast? With stunning coastal scenery and great beaches, Christchurch offers an idyllic lifestyle. And with activities ranging from surfing to dolphin watching, there's plenty to see and do. With views like these, property here is a little more expensive, with the average family house costing around £180,000. This nationwide building company is looking for an experienced carpenter, offering to pay around £10 an hour. Ricky Stratton explains more.
Christchurch is a great little area to work in, a great lifestyle, great people and great teams. 6 years ago I came to New Zealand just to ski. Skied for a couple of years and then came to Christchurch, and this is the best city I've ever been to. The lifestyle here is excellent. Fixer Building Services is a wonderful company to work for here in Christchurch. Hope to see you down under soon.
So, did the Scots feel that the quiet life in the country around Medford was for them? Or did the steeper property prices put them off? Was it to be the green spaces, culture and cheaper houses in Christchurch? Or perhaps life on the Canterbury coast with affordable homes would hit the spot? So 3 very different possibilities for our family to try. So which one did they think would suit them best? The Scots are test driving a country lifestyle in New Zealand's South Island. And touchdown in Christchurch, a little bit the worse for wear.
We worked out, it was 36 hours, wasn't it, from start to finish, so a long time.
Graham is pretty upbeat about the week ahead.
I'm really looking forward to this. Well, the main thing in mind is if we like what we see.
But Tracy's worried about Graham's work prospects.
You want to know you're going to have a job in a year's time. With Graham having his own business, you know he's got job security, but to give all that up and work for a company would be very difficult.
Well, I think the best scenario would be to maybe be offered a half-decent job. And the worst scenario would be for it to rain all week.
On the drive from the airport, Graham is struck by the similarities with home.
The mountains in front here look so much like the Cairngorms on the Coolins when I got to West Coast fishing. It's pretty much like this in the winter time.
But for Tracy, the landscape seems to be a cause for concern.
I'm thinking this is quite remote. And although I do like the country, I also like civilization.
I can't knock it yet until we've actually seen for like it is. I mean, it's a beautiful spot.
I think in the winter it would be very bleak. In fact, would you get out?
Oh dear, not a good start. The Scotts are staying in a 3-bedroom cabin on a farm 50 miles from Christchurch. While Prue sleeps off the journey, the rest of the family say hello to owner Tom McArae.
Nice to see you. Well, I'm an original New Zealand farmer.
Okay.
I'm the real McCoy. Yeah.
Good stuff. It's a beautiful spot you got here.
The farm is in the rather appropriately named village of Windwhistle.
So that's why it's blowing. It's a very apt name. But my grandfather always used to say, treat it as a rainy day when it's blowing hard. So stay inside and don't try and fight it.
The Scotts don't need telling twice.
Welcome to our humble abode.
Wow.
That's lovely.
This was built by my grandfather for my mother, who was an only daughter, you see.
Right.
Just to have a holiday home.
The house is full of character and some quirky touches.
That's one of the original phones that were here.
Oh,
this
nice.
is still operated. It rings up to the homestead now. So everyone comes up and gives it a ring. And my wife answers, they jump out of their skin because they think it's just an ornament, you see.
Oh, that's nice. It's lovely, isn't it?
And here's all the family here from the old days. That's my grandfather, who was 19 when he first had looking at the place.
Well, Tom, you've got a grand. Who's here, man?
There's a pet lamb over there called Sooty for the children. He loves bread. And Molly the horse, nice pet horse, she loves a carrot. So light the fire tonight and make yourself at home.
So, first impressions?
Must admit, we drove off the road, we thought,
I love the history that's attached
Yeah.
to it, though. I mean, it's so quaint, and you know, I mean, obviously, you couldn't live permanently here, but I mean, well, I couldn't live permanently here, but as a holiday home or a getaway or whatever, it's
Excellent.
fantastic.
Oh, for sure.
Their first task is to check out local properties. In the UK, the Scotts live in a 3-bedroom house in Banchory near Aberdeen. It's Graham's pride and joy, and a lot of his own blood, sweat and tears went into making it a comfortable family home. If they decide to move to New Zealand, they'd be aiming to spend around £200,000 on a house there. All 3 properties the Scotts are viewing are in Methven, around 13 miles from Windwhistle. The first house is a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom cottage, built about 100 years ago and on the market in summer 2008 for $409,000. That's around £157,000. Estate agent and expat OJ shows them around.
Turn to the right, kids. This is a 1910, 1920 character cottage. I think Graham would probably be needed to do some work around the place.
Yes.
Oh, but
Maybe
certainly
an extension upstairs.
Tracy's not seeing much character so far.
Does that fire your sort of central heating system?
No. In Methven, and especially in the smaller homes, you definitely wouldn't have central heating.
No.
That would be something you'd have to
That's something, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think we run out of wood at about 2 o'clock this morning and went on to pine cones, didn't we? Sitting huddling around the fire.
That was nice, though.
On to the kitchen.
So, no dishwasher.
What do you think to the standard of the kitchen?
Well, I think I would miss my range cooker.
All right.
Tracy's not responding well to OJ's sales technique.
So this is the 3rd bedroom, or at the moment, bikes and freezer storage.
There's not much to impress inside the house, but outside, Tracy spotted something of interest.
Is this another property or
This
Is that a garage with a studio?
This is a garage with a studio apartment. That's included in the whole price. Triple garage with a studio flat, because I believe there's somebody sleeping in there at the moment.
So has the granny flat won Tracy round?
No chance.
Yeah, no chance.
No, it needs too much work done, it's too small, and we don't want to move here and have to start working on our property.
Okay.
So far, not so good. He's hoping property 2's a better prospect. The garden's smaller than the outdoorsy Scots are used to, but it's got 4 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms and couldn't be more different from property 1. The asking price is $520,000, or about £200,000.
Oh, looks like a nice house.
It does, it looks lovely. It's quite unusual, isn't it? Hello.
Owner Rachel is ready and waiting and shows the Scots straight inside.
This is the open plan kitchen and living, beautiful Formica bench top. And in here we actually have a butler's pantry.
Oh, great.
That's actually quite unique for New Zealand.
This is nice.
The New Zealand winter is never far from Tracy's thoughts.
What type of heating is it?
There are a couple of types of heating. There are 3 heat pumps. As you can see, there's one just here. And in through the formal living, we have a gas fire.
Nice.
Nice TV.
It's nice to do what my children prioritise.
It's way better than the one at home. Yes, it's way better.
I'm so concerned about my children.
Now something for the adults.
Here we have a his and hers wardrobe. Tracy, you'll love this. There's
Yeah,
one
because we
here.
just have a her and hers. Lovely, I like that. Yes, keep all the clothes out the way. That
Main bathroom with a bath for the kiddies. And look, Prue, I've got a surprise for you.
True.
Look at this. Whose bedroom do you think this is?
Wow. Do you think this would be your room?
It's nice, isn't it?
Don't think
Nice
Dougal
and
would want it. It's lovely.
What's the verdict on property 2?
The accommodation
Room
itself
sizes are-
spot on, but I think garden size is just a wee bit short with it we were thinking on it.
And the price?
Good value for money. You certainly wouldn't get a place like this in Bankery for 200k.
You're looking at maybe 500,000-600,000 for something like this. Pounds.
Well, that's a bit better, but the Scots are still less than enthusiastic. So it's all down to property 3, which is bound to get them excited. It's got 5 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms and bags of space inside and out. The catch? It would set them back $750,000. That's just under £290,000 and beyond their budget. Proud owner Mark is a British expat who's been in New Zealand for 3 years and has some advice for Graham and Tracy.
I'll tell you one thing, I wouldn't underestimate how difficult it is to emigrate. The first 2 years, you always want to go home. It is hard. The children do miss their grandparents. Yeah. There's no 2 ways about it, and you're too far just to pop home.
That's going to cause Tracy some concern. But now back to the matter at hand.
Come in and see the house.
Good, thank you.
Wonderful. Let me show you around. This is the area where we do most of our entertaining. Cool. Now, this is the main family area of the house. Very open plan. It's our dining room, family lounge and kitchen.
This is lovely, isn't it?
Lovely, yeah.
It's very simple and plain and clean lines and a very easy house to live in, I think.
If you'd like to come through, I'll show you Georgina's room.
How old's Georgina?
Georgina's exactly the same age as Prue.
Look how tidy this room is, Prue.
Lovely.
You too could have a room like
As tidy as this,
this.
Prue? Back in Scotland, is your room as tidy as this? Is it?
I've just seen her nose.
Right, I'll show you. This is, we use this as our guest bedroom when people come round.
That all-important spare room for visiting friends and relatives would be vital if the Scots were to move.
Have you had friends from England come over to see you yet? Or?
One set of friends have come over
Okay.
last Christmas.
Crikey, one lot of visitors from the UK in 3 years. Upstairs, there's a surprise for Tracy.
Lovely. Look at that view.
Yeah, it's lovely. In the morning, you can just draw back the curtains and have that view.
Yeah.
It's just a wonderful view.
Mark leaves them alone to contemplate the stunning environment.
Well, could you see yourself living here?
In a house like this, I think I probably could, yeah.
If a house wouldn't sway me to move to the other side of the world, it's not about the house. It's about the lifestyle and people, rather than actually bricks and mortar and, you know, balconies.
It's getting back to the quality of life, you know.
I know.
And I think you can't beat the outside quality that you've got here. It's.
But we have quite a good outdoor life, so that's the other thing. It's not like we live in a city. I always knew it was going to be a big decision, and I don't think I've made up my mind yet at all. I think there's still lots to see and lots to research, and before any decisions are made.
And perhaps Graham's beginning to face the reality of the distance from home.
You do begin to think about your family and friends, and you're a long way away. As Mark says, you can't just go and jump in a plane every whim, you know, so it's a decision that the family as a whole we can't take it lightly, basically.
No, absolutely. Lots to think about.
Yeah.
Although Tracy knows property is only a small part of their huge decision, it's clearly important that they all like what's on offer. She hated Property 1 despite its large garden and didn't like the idea of Graham having to do lots of work to it. The second house was more appealing, but the garden just wasn't up to the mark. And although Property 3 seemed to be right on the money, both Tracy and Graham realised that there's more to emigrating than having a comfortable place to live. So, taking all that into consideration, how will the Scott family vote? Do they prefer property in New Zealand or in the UK?
So overall, what do you think? 3, 2,
If it was all like this, I would go with that.
Prue and I and Dugan are all British. But that's not to say that our house isn't out there.
Yeah.
Graham's got used to being self-employed, but to qualify for a visa, he's going to have to get a job down under. But how will he cope working for someone else? In the UK, Graham runs a joinery business from his home in Banchory. He struggles to achieve a satisfactory work-life balance and is looking for something in New Zealand which would allow him more time with the family. Judging by the Situations Vacant column in the local paper, there's plenty of work to be had, but will it be what he's looking for?
I'm quite nervous, actually, because there'll be different practices and it'll be interesting to see what the guy's got to say. Obviously, being self-employed for the last 12, 14 years, it is going to be difficult working for someone else, but it's a new place, new country, new rules, regulations, so I'll get to just get into that and we'll see what happens.
Although he's a master of joinery, Graham's also rebuilt his house in the UK and is pretty much jack of all trades. He's come down to meet Nigel and Tom to find out a bit more about the kind of work which could be on offer to a man with his skills and experience.
What are you actually building here?
This is a 60-bale rotary shed with a round yard, so we've stripped the topsoil off and we're just getting the base course down, and then the site's really ready for the building team to come in and start the project.
Okay. So how does that compare to what you'd normally do over?
Well, it's obviously slightly different. I would normally come in maybe after this guys have been done and dusted, and then come in and do the more of the carpentry, joinery side of things. Yeah. But it'd be nice to get involved and just to see how you guys operate across here, because there's obviously be different legislations, etc., etc., and just different methods and how to work. I'm really looking forward to getting my teeth into it and getting stuck in.
Meanwhile, Tracy, Dugan and Prue are making the most of the beautiful surroundings and weather to go exploring.
Do you like a fish? It's a big salmon.
Isn't this great?
Tracy's aware how important today is for Graham.
I think he absolutely needs to find something that he likes doing, because when Graham's not happy, the whole family suffers.
But joking aside, she is anxious about the family's prospects in New Zealand.
My worries, I guess, are just, if the recession, gets any worse, then, we're left here with no income, which is obviously, a big concern. It's a consideration. You hear the birds?
Perhaps the beauty of the landscape will work its magic on Tracy and dispel her fears. Back at work, Nigel offers to take Graham on a tour of another site, and Graham wastes no time asking some searching questions.
What does your week consist of? How many hours a week, or is it just as and when?
It's generally 44 hours a week. Key things for Tom and myself when we set up Cube was that we did have a work-life balance.
Yeah.
We both come from jobs where the work side of it was more than the life side of it.
Yeah.
Good news. That's a big part of Graham wanting to move. Nigel's business specialises in agricultural buildings, like cowsheds, and here's one they made earlier.
Obviously, there's a bit more steel and nothing involved with what I'm normally accustomed to, but I think it's all about diversification nowadays, and being in the building trade, you've got to be able to turn your hand to most things.
In that case, it's time for Graham to show what he's made of. Nigel's got a job lined up for him, and in case you're wondering, it's not milking.
We've got some concrete coming shortly. And we're just going to create a little bit of a spillway below this pipe down here.
Yeah.
But I want you to be looking after these guys and taking control.
Okay. No pressure at all.
No.
Well, look at you, a good man here.
I'm the smallest one of the lot.
Far from allaying her fears, Tracy's walk in the countryside with the children has forced her to face one or two home truths.
I think Methven's a bit too quiet, to be honest. I think it's a bit too rural for us, isn't it? My dad, who is sadly no longer with us, used to always say that it's people that matter, not the place. And in fact, it was one of the last things he ever said to me, so I kind of haven't been able to get that out of my head. Most of my friends who I've had all my life, and there's just nothing that will ever replace that.
So does she think New Zealand has what it takes?
I always thought it was going to have to be quite special because of the life that we do have. And I think the life we do have is probably, you know, as far as British standards go, right up there. And I think we all realised that, didn't we?
Yeah.
I'm just not sure we've actually seen that yet.
No.
It looks as though this little piece of the huge wide world isn't as special as Tracy was hoping. Back at work, Graham's hard at it.
Just get on with it when you're ready, guys. Just pour away. Get on then. 700 wide.
Boss Nigel's been casting a critical eye.
Oh, I think he's gone all right. Yeah, he seems like a downright decent bloke. Given the right training for Graham, I think he's more than capable of being a foreman. He's certainly got the right work ethics. Talking to him earlier about his own business that he has been running, I think he'll go fine.
So what does Graham make of all this?
If you've got to pour a bit of concrete, you've got to go and pour a bit of concrete.
Quite so, Graham. But now it's time for the vote. How does he feel about work in New Zealand compared to the UK?
I think overall it's been really good. His guys have really respected me, and it's been really nice working with him, and I'd love to come and work in New Zealand.
New Zealand's food has a global reputation for its freshness and quality. We look into why the country's so rich in fruit and veg, and also check out some of the produce you can't easily find in the UK.
New Zealand grows most of its own fresh produce. Most of our vegetables we grow all year round. And of course we grow a lot of apples and kiwi fruit, citrus and summer fruit. We're growing those all at different times of the year. Most visitors here are really impressed with the fresh vegetables we have and the variety.
Oh, look, the range is absolutely fantastic.
All the thing is good quality.
So what makes New Zealand such a fertile land for food production?
The climate here in New Zealand is quite temperate, so that certainly does make a difference to the flavour and the quality. And we have some very good soils and good rainfall, which is great for growing produce.
In fact, the land yields so much fine produce that 60% of it is exported around the world. So with the UK being a major importer of New Zealand produce, chances are you'll already have had a taste before you get there. But there are a few things you probably won't have seen before.
So these are lemonade fruits, so they look very much like lemons, maybe a little bit rougher on the outside. Tastes like lemonade and very popular with the kids. These are tamarillos. They're beautifully red inside. You can just open these, slit them in half like a kiwi fruit and scoop them out with a spoon. Just beautiful.
So what do New Zealanders themselves think about their produce compared to the UK's?
Well, if you're coming over from Britain, I think the food here is brilliant. A really, really good variety.
And I think that the prices here are really competitive.
So Graham and Tracy, to get the most out of your weekly shop down under, here are some top tips.
First of all, find a really good place to buy your produce. You've got a range of outlets, so get someone who knows what they're talking about. Second, you can get value for money by shopping and buying what's in season at different times of the year. Thirdly, I think just try some of the different things that we have, really experience the flavour and the health benefits of the products here in New Zealand.
The Scots from Bankery near Aberdeen are giving life in New Zealand a trial run for 1 week. The long journey impressed upon them the distance they'd travelled, but the landscape of the South Island was a reminder of the home they could be leaving behind. Tracy found the properties within their budget didn't live up to expectations, but Graham was certain he could find fulfilling work if they were to emigrate. However, the Scots are well aware that there's more to life than work. The new lifestyle in New Zealand, but will it prove to be all they'd hoped for? The Scots all enjoy the great outdoors in their native Scotland, so they're eager to explore what New Zealand would have to offer them if they were to make the move. Graham and Tracy are especially keen to encourage children Dugan and Prue to make the most of local activities. So they've driven 15 miles to spend the day on the ski slopes of Mount Hutt. Unfortunately for Tracy, the journey's a bit hair-raising.
I can't look.
It's not long, is it?
Oh, there's no way I could ski if this was like snow. Oh no, I can't. I'm going to have to get out. You're going to have to slow right down. I'm sorry.
The road's fine.
Do they have many accidents?
Mum!
No, you look at the road.
Oh dear, those mountain roads could be a problem for Tracy.
I just don't like heights, you know. Lots of people have different fears, and mine's heights. So, you know, the roads in Scotland aren't like that going up to the ski resort. I mean, you know, one error and you're dead.
There'll be no deaths today, thank you. Instructors Cloud and Andy arrive to show the Scots the ropes.
Nice to meet you. How are you today? Fine. You good?
So what we'll do is we'll have a play around just on the flat for a start.
And you've never skied before?
I've never skied before.
Fantastic.
They're all excited by the prospect of hitting the slopes. Well, all except one.
I'm not skiing. I'm getting old. My knees are too creaky for this nonsense, so I'll just watch and enjoy the kids.
How's that, Prue?
Prue's having to get to grips with the basics.
Now we're going to start to slide backwards, so we need to go sideways. Okay, keep coming up this way. Hold my hand. That's it. Take little steps. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Just watch how you're standing. Try not to let your upper body drop back.
It's all coming back to Tracy, but it's a world away from her previous skiing experience.
You just don't really get ski conditions like this in Scotland, so it's a great chance for them. If we moved here, I would hope that the kids would ski and enjoy the outdoor sports, because at winter time it's such an opportunity for them. So yeah, absolutely. I really hope they do get into it. You know, the first time on your skis it's not easy for little Prue, but Dugan loves it, so he's having great fun.
Oh, ouch. How does instructor Andy think he's doing?
Yeah, he's doing really well, eh? He's got really good balance. Just a little bit more practice and he'll be away. I reckon you guys should come out and get into snowboarding, eh?
While the kids have fun, Mum and Dad take a moment to reflect on their experience so far.
At Mount Hutt, and it's just tremendous. I mean, Dugan's, he's gone. I don't know where he is, but...
Oh, look, there he is.
He's just loving it.
This slice of New Zealand lifestyle seems just what the doctor ordered.
My reasons for wanting to move were to see if there was a lifestyle that would suit my children or equally match our lifestyle, but with a better climate perhaps in certain areas, and also make us a bit more free time to enjoy our family life, which we don't have at the moment. We seem to just both run at a gallop.
I mean, the kids have always been my priority moving out here. I would be able to spend some more time with them. Tracy would have so a lot more quality time with the kids in the morning, going to school and stuff.
I can feel a but coming on.
If we moved out here and you lost your job, and there was in a recession, then, you know, we go belly up, we've sold our house, we've got nothing to go back to at all, and then it all has gone horribly wrong. But
you could be saying that about the UK, yeah? I don't really think too much on that lines. That's Tracy's demean.
I have to be. I'm the one that looks
She's the family, I think.
And those thoughts of home keep cropping up.
I have my mother and family in Aberdeen, and you have your family in Aberdeen, and, you know, none of them are, you know, getting any younger, and it is a worry if you're at the other side of the world.
Yeah.
And as we've said before, you can. I have no doubts I would make new friends and have a social life, but I wouldn't have the history. And, you know, if things go wrong, it's your close friends that you need around you.
Yeah, but I think it's something that you've just got to take a chance, you know, for the benefit of your bairns. You only get one shot at life.
And they're agreed that, today at least, life in New Zealand looks good. So after a day spent having fun as a family, it's time to vote. How do the Scots feel the lifestyle in New Zealand measures up to Scotland?
Awesome!
So what are we going to vote?
3, 2, 1. New Zealand!
For the Scott family, there have been pros and cons all along the way about emigrating to New Zealand. But when they see what their friends and family think about it, will it sway their decision?
Hi, Deacon and Pooh. It's your cousins here. I hope you have a great time in New Zealand. I hope you'll be able to take lots of pictures of the Maori warriors doing their...
Graham's always been a determined lad. I'm sure he'll do very well wherever he goes.
Graham's been a very affectionate son. He worries if I'm ill at all, and I think he will really miss us when he goes.
I am going to miss her. I really will miss her. She's not going to be sharing things in my life like she is when she's here, and vice versa. I won't be sharing things in her life down there in a physical sense.
We can sort of go for a walk or go fishing just at the drop of a hat, you know. It doesn't have to be something that's pre-arranged, and that's rare today. So probably that's what I miss, this sort of spontaneity, you know.
We see them every week. Either we're out there or they come in to us, or we're babysitting quite a lot for them.
We have been through heaps together, and, you know, I think we know each other pretty much, you know, inside out, as well as you could know somebody, and that's what she won't have when she goes to New Zealand, because you can make new friends, but it takes such a long time to build up that kind of level of friendship and that understanding and just shared experiences.
Knowing Tracy like I do, I think she's going to find it incredibly lonely, and I think she's going to feel very sad.
Things that I'll miss with Dugan is watching him playing football, because he's certainly proven to be quite a good player. I mean, it would have been interesting to see how far he could have went probably at the game.
And Prue, she's so funny. She's really the apple of my eye. Now, listen.
I'm feeling very emotional. It's just hit me. You know, have a great time. I know you're probably lonely. I know you're probably missing people, but stick it out. It'll be worth it.
What can I say? I mean, you're going to be a great miss, but I'm sure everything will turn out fine.
Well, Graham and Tracy, I hope that you've chosen the right way. I'm sure you have. And if this is what you want to do, you've got our blessing. Please be good, children. I will miss you. Be good. And I hope you enjoy living in New Zealand. And we'll be over as often as we can to visit.
That's quite
You're
sad.
crying.
Just a little teary.
So, Mum, the time we get home, back to Bankery, can you go straight to Nana's?
Do you miss her? No. I think
No.
You know what Susan said, is exactly what I've concerned. You can make new friends, but you don't have history. And also, from your parents' point of view, they are so involved with the kids, is it almost selfish to deprive them of their grandchildren to some extent, watching them grow up.
What do you think on it, Diggs?
Don't want to come.
Aww.
It's quite hard, that, is it?
Very.
Graham and Tracy were both pretty shocked at the strength of Dugan's reaction. So father and son go for a walk to talk things through man to man.
It just brings it home, does it?
Yeah.
You only get one shotty, Doug.
I think we could just improve our life at home.
You think so?
Yep, I do.
Inside, Tracy's pondering whether New Zealand might prove to be a step too far for Dugan and Prue.
Upsetting Dugan like that's just going to be... I don't think as a father you can put your child through that, actually. If he's, so upset, I think it's a very difficult thing to do. But he is still a child at the end of the day, and it's up to us as parents to choose what we think's best for him, so...
It's a massive step, Diggs.
Yeah.
It's something we're going to have to think really long and hard.
The children in particular were badly affected by those messages. So what impact will it have on the Scott family's final vote? It's been a very emotional end to a week of ups and downs for the Scotts. Tracy was the original driving force behind a potential move, and Graham willingly came along for the ride. They both agreed that a simpler way of life would be in the interests of the whole family.
I want my kids just to not be so materialistic and enjoy, to me, what's important, which is outdoor life.
But for Tracy, New Zealand seems to have been one disappointment after another. Her keen house valuer's eye meant that she was unimpressed with the kind of property they could afford.
No chance.
Self-employed joiner Graham was fairly pragmatic about work in New Zealand and, despite concerns about working for someone else, found he could fit in pretty well. They all enjoyed exploring the lifestyle on offer on New Zealand's South Island. But the tug of friends and family back home proved too much for Dugan. With all these conflicting feelings, how would the Scott family vote in the end? Will they stay in the UK or move to New Zealand?
Where are we going to vote to stay? New Zealand or Britain? You're going to shout 1, 2, 3?
1, 2, 3.
Britain!
Well, that's pretty decisive, although a bit of a change of heart.
Graham's voted for New Zealand all along the way, but when it came to the crunch, the messages from loved ones back home really got to him. So for now, at least, it looks like they won't be moving, but they're wanted down under.
Coverage of the Australian Open, plus a chance to see Andy Murray's exciting game, all on the red button right now. Next here on BBC One, a bathroom door is urgently required for one of the homes under the hammer.